Welcome to Nice Ashes. I'm Mike.
I'm Nate, and Mike, we have a guest with us this evening.
We do. We have a special guest, and his name is Al.
Yeah, this is Al.
Nice to meet you, Al.
Same here.
Have you guys ever met in person?
Don't think so.
I
Okay.
do not believe so.
Interesting.
I have
So
heard stories far and wide, but
Yeah,
not met.
they're all bad, I'm sure.
yeah,
I'm just going to say I've heard stories far and wide,
yeah. Yeah, they're all true.
especially the bad ones.
Yeah.
Oh, Al's got to cut his stick here.
All right. What are we
What are we
smoking,
smoking
Mike?
today?
Okay,
Ooh,
I'll tell you. Twist my arm into it. We are smoking the Dark Sharks. And this was a bulk pack buy from our not sponsor, pipesandcigars.com. And I think it works out to be a little over $1 a stick for these, somewhere around the $1 to $2 per stick range.
So, very reasonable.
They're practically giving these away. And we're here to tell you if it's worth taking them up on that offer or not.
Yes.
Though I did see they kind of went up in price a little bit, I think, since I bought the pack. So they're maybe more like 2 to 3 a stick now, but still pretty dang reasonable.
Yeah, that's true territory.
Yeah. So I'm going to get mine lit. Sounds like you are getting yours lit.
Yes. Al has smoked a few cigars. And he
Tonight?
doesn't really care for cigars. No, not tonight. Ever.
No, it's just I don't care for them. I just can't tell the difference.
This is why we were smoking the Dark Shark.
Use the cheap shit on me.
Well,
That's
and to be
right.
fair, sometimes Mike and I can't tell the difference either.
Yeah.
So full disclosure, I'm not a Dark Shark virgin.
You told me that.
Yes, I had one last week, so
Are you keeping the results to yourself, I'm
the
guessing?
results will be kept to myself until the end of the show.
I assume so.
First few puffs, I mean, the drag is a bit, it's not as free-flowing as some of the other cigars that we've had, so it's probably a little more tightly packed, but the taste is not unpleasant at the start here.
No, it's kind of got that acetone, alcohol flavor maybe.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of slight like bitterness almost, but as we've said before, that's kind of to be expected. And Al, we've had a few other guests on the show that have not smoked cigars for several decades, I guess.
All right.
So don't feel intimidated, and any thoughts you have on the cigar are perfectly valid because we are not experts by any means.
No, we are not. You're gonna want to get the edges lit a little better. Al is the center of the
Novice.
cigar is very lit, but his edges are resisting the flame. You look good there.
There we go.
Hopefully.
Still very much of a novice on this, or a noob.
Yes. Well, that's one of the reasons why I invited you onto the show, because it's good for people to hear the perspective of somebody who's not a regular cigar smoker.
Oh,
One of the things we like to do is suggest who the cigar would be for, I guess. But
Yes, and at this price point, the easiest thing is, anybody that doesn't want to spend a lot of money on a cigar. But
yeah.
we'll see as we go along smoking if that pans out or not, to be what
Yes.
our recommendation with this one is.
I'm a quarter inch in, and the that kind of liquor taste is gone, and now it's very mild.
Yeah, it's
Very mild.
it's surprisingly mild for a cigar called the Dark Shark.
Right, and this is dark, root beer colored. So
Yes.
yes.
All right.
Now, many of you know, undoubtedly, that Nate is a board game aficionado. One of his big times. But what you don't know is that Al here is also a board game fanatic, and I'm assuming that that's what you're going to want to talk about.
Yeah, we can.
I thought we were just going to play Monopoly over the podcast airwaves tonight. Pewter Dog to Red 7.
Yeah. How many doubles did that take you?
I am not a board game guy.
That's not
Hey,
true.
your
We
collection's
played
slowly growing.
Dune Imperium together.
That's true. I like Dune Imperium. I like board games. It's just not something that I've taken up as a serious hobby.
Well, it's like anything, we got to carve out time for it.
That's true. That is very true.
Yeah. Because like I said, you got an okay collection started.
Yes, I'm starting.
What are some of your favorite board games, Al?
Well, right now that I got to play recently is that me and Mike are going through that Clank Acquisition Inc.,
Oh yeah.
which is offshoot of the normal Clank, but it's a legacy version. So that's basically you got like a story in one board game where it can actually where you add stickers to your game board. You can in some legacy version games you actually tear up cards
Okay.
and all that. So like by the end of the playing it, you actually have your own unique board game.
My wife and I are we started 3 or 4 years ago, and we're halfway through the campaign for Charterstone, which is only supposed to take like 6 hours to finish. But that one's a legacy game, but I would almost consider that kind of like legacy light because, there's not a whole lot of story there. And things to come back to. And now I've never played Clank any version. I know there's a few versions out there, and I know that it's a widely popular board game intellectual property or whatever. But,
because you got your traditional Dungeon Delver one, then you got your sci-fi version or spaceship version of it.
Yeah.
I do like Clank Legacy. It's a lot of fun. We tried to get my wife to play with us, and she went around. She doesn't care for it.
Well, it's the legacy version she didn't care for. It's where you're stopping in the middle of the game, adding the stickers or reading out the story text.
Right. That's the part that I enjoy. It's kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, but in a board game.
Yeah, I'd like to try Clank and the Clank Legacy. There's a few other legacy games. Like I don't know. Is Gloomhaven? Is that legacy or is that they've got a campaign, but it's not like destructive? I don't think.
I
can't remember.
Legacy. I would say Legacy Light.
Okay.
Because you do add stickers to it. I'm not sure if you rip up cards in it at all, but I have the game, but it's like I never been able to play it yet.
Yeah.
And I've tried it on Steam a couple times, and I'm not even through the first scenario.
Okay.
Because it's also a lot different gameplay.
Yep.
Than your normal games. It's a lot more complex. Because you get a handful of cards, and you use like top half of one card. You have to use 2 cards to make basically 1 card in what you're doing.
Okay.
Because like one top card say you could attack, and the other bottom of the card says you can like move, and you try to manage your cards and not go all the way out by the end of the scenario.
Okay, so it's kind of like card crafting.
Yeah, and the further you play along, you get more cards, and you can get rid of your bad cards.
Yes.
But that game is a beast, because Mike sees right now, can see easy how big Clank is, the AC Inc. game.
Yep.
And the Gloomhaven's double that size.
Wow. That Clank Legacy game that's the size of a workboot box. It's big. So
Yeah.
that's got to be huge.
And they're coming out with their second game here, I think, shortly. Frosthaven.
Oh yeah, I saw that was they kickstarted that a while back now.
Yeah, I think back in 2020, I think it was being kickstarted.
Yeah, I mildly or briefly kind of looked at that because I'd never played Gloomhaven, so I didn't have a huge interest in
Yeah.
Frosthaven, and I've got the Rise of Fenris campaign. It's like an eight game campaign, so it's not legacy, but it's got kind of the similar campaign storyline to it for Scythe. But I haven't had time to play that because you need like it's 8 games, so you need somebody that's willing to put in 2 hours a week for 8 weeks, basically.
Oh yeah.
To get through it, because if you give those things too much time in between, I find it's really hard to kind of get back into them.
Oh yeah. I'm just waiting for me and Mike finally to get back into Clank because we haven't been back into it since last winter, I think.
Yeah, it was spring probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Al got a new position. He's been working like a madman.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I got evening shifts at where I'm working now, so I get done at like 2:30 a.m.
Yes.
But I get 3 days off.
Well, that's good.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say this Dark Shark is a little sweeter than I was kind of led to believe.
It's not bad.
No, it's not bad. It's not, and it's
No,
not
no, it's
overly
not bad.
sweet. But it's looking at it and the color of the wrapper, it's kind of like deceptively sweet. So I think if you smoked it side by side with like a lighter wrappered cigar, you wouldn't think that this one is overly sweet. But going into it with a name like Dark Shark, it's sweet enough to be like, huh.
Right. Yeah, it's not overly dark tasting. Tastes fine though. It's not bad. What do you think of it, Al?
It's pretty good so far. From your other teaching lessons, like I'm not hacking on it or anything.
Al's a cigarette smoker.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Completely different style of smoking for cigars.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yep. But roll your own cigarettes.
Oh yeah, I know a few people who do that.
Hell of a lot cheaper.
Yeah, and I think you can kind of control like what's in it more, because don't they put different additives in the store bought?
You can always buy different blends and blend your own,
Yeah.
and you can then also too determine how packed you want your cigarette. If you want like super packed or nicely, or a little bit on the loose side,
Yes.
which just takes well, like once you make like 2 or 3 packs, you basically got what you're looking for by then.
Right. Are you on your second or third machine?
I think I went through 2 mechanicals, and I'm still on my electric one right now.
Okay.
Yep.
When you roll your own cigarettes, do you have an option? Like, I don't know, this is going to be really dumb because I don't know anything about rolling my own cigarettes.
No problem.
But do you get to choose like your different paper? Like, is there paper that might have different like tastes? Like sometimes they'll dip like cigar tips in different things, or the tip has, or the cap, or whatever they call it.
The only
Different
difference
flavors.
I've seen so far, just in the paper wise, is because I don't like smoking menthols, but it's like I seen like these boxes on for sale for like $1 for 200, like 250 rolls. So it's like I bought those, not thinking really, and it was in a green box, so like the whole box was all menthol
Okay.
wrap, and it's like, okay, well, I'll get through these. But that's so far, and because like when I first started rolling, almost like I was trying to ask the clerks like which ones give me the better smoke,
Yep.
and they give me like I don't know, like you try the Zen one, because I mainly go between Zen wraps, or for a while there was tops. And I think the Zen ones give me a little bit more smoke.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
During the Obama administration, they banned flavored cigarettes other than menthol. So I'm guessing that they are not allowed to sell roll your owns that have a flavor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know that I used to imbibe occasionally in a brand called Sweet Dreams. They were German flavored cigarettes.
Chocolate flavored.
Yep. Well, they had vanilla and
Yeah.
other flavors, but yeah, I really like the chocolate flavored ones. They were very nice.
Yeah, but now those that special tobacco you got, the H3.
Oh, HS3. Yep.
Yeah, I can definitely taste the difference in those.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a different kind of tobacco,
Yeah.
totally.
Mm-hmm.
So Al will occasionally roll cigarettes with my pipe tobacco,
Okay.
and you really have to dry it out
Yeah.
to make it work in a cigarette.
Yeah.
How do you dry it out? You just
I just leave either the container open or just leave it next to the sun in a window area next to the sun.
Oh, okay.
Just naturally dry it.
That makes sense. Didn't know if it was like a kind of like a Martha Stewart, like put your oven on 150 and put it in there for 2 hours.
Now you get a box fan, you put sheet over, or do the fruit drying method.
I suppose you could put it in a dehumidifier, or that's what they're called, right? The things that make beef jerky.
Dehydrator.
Dehydrator. That's right.
Yeah, price.
Yep.
Yeah,
Dehumidifier is what's in my basement, pumping out water all the time.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I modified a dehumidifier to make a machine that would cook oil out of bowling balls.
All right, so Mike made it about 16, 17 minutes before mentioning bowling.
That's
so
right.
if anyone had the over-under on that for our listeners.
Well, I got a topic for him then on that. On bowling. No, have you heard of that 9-pin or duck bowling or?
Yeah, duckpin bowling.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because apparently I found out my company makes the wood underneath the laminate on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Very cool. I would like to go duckpin bowling someday. That's like northeast of the United States, I think, in parts of Canada.
Do you need special lanes, or what's the deal? What's duck bowling?
Well, I think one is a smaller ball.
You use shorter, fatter pins.
And a shorter lane.
And I think it's a shorter lane and a smaller ball. And there's no holes in the ball.
Okay. So it's like shot put for people that can't throw overhand.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, take a little small
it's like
ball.
ski ball, but more advanced.
See, and I love me some skee ball.
Mm-hmm. I think they have a 5-inch diameter ball.
And how? What's the weight on that then? Is it?
I have
it's
no
gotta
idea.
Be probably lighter than a regular bowling ball then.
Gotta be. It's gotta be. You would think so.
Yeah, I'm assuming you're just throwing it with one hand.
Right. Yeah, you're throwing it with one hand and you're not. I mean, there's no fingers in it, so you're just throwing it. I've seen it. I've watched duckpin matches on YouTube.
I'm assuming the scoring's all the same and all that. And
there's 3 balls per frame in duckpin.
All right.
Yep. And then they modified the strike and spare system, for what I understand. So.
But you still want all the pins down, right?
Yes. Same goal. Same goal is to get all the pins down.
Yeah.
I think the score is still 300 too. Yeah, it'd be interesting to go and do it.
Yeah, it's like I just don't know where my guess the only place around here you could do it's probably down in the cities or something.
I don't know if they have it in the metro or not.
Well, if it's not,
do they have any duck pin in
you
metro?
know what? If it's not here, it doesn't exist. I don't know. We'd have to look because I feel like it's probably just like obscure enough that it would be here. But then, like we could do a Google search or something and it'd be like in some little town, like on the Dakota border or something, would be like, hey, we're the premier like North American duckpin bowling bowling destination.
Oh, for sure.
It could go either way, like it's either in the big city here or it's like somewhere you never would think that it would be next to the world's largest ball of twine.
Ellie's in Mars.
I am searching for duckpin bowling.
Bryant Lake Bowling and Theater.
Yeah, I know they do
Or maybe
regular
they're just
bowling,
giving me
but
bowling alleys in the metro. Or is it also known as Candlepin?
Woodrose duckpin bowling. Look at that.
where's
Where
that
is
one,
that
Mike?
at? That is in Michigan.
Well, it's not as far as Canada, eh?
That's true. That's true. Atomic duckpin. Where's that at? Oh, there we go. That one's in Indiana. Yeah, that might be the closest one to us. Crazy.
Well, we might have to do a Nice Ashes road trip for season 2.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. That'd be very interesting. Yeah, it looks like it's all East Coast, and the farthest west it made it was Michigan.
Yeah, I think there's a couple in Minneapolis.
In Minneapolis? Well, we'll have to look. We can look later. We don't have to
Yeah.
do it on air. This is great radio, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's on the edge of their seats while we frantically Google.
Duckpin.
The only thing that came
bowling.
up on mine was how to perfect your duck face, but,
Oh, jeez.
you know.
I don't
Thanks,
even know.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, thanks, Obama. I don't even know how that became a thing.
I don't know, but I took some senior portraits for Dev's daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and he was on the show, and we were out and doing all these portraits, and for one of them she busted out the duck face, and so I called her out. I said, "Wow, we almost made it through a whole photo shoot without duck face popping up." And she's like, "I don't know why I did it. I felt like I had to." So now that's the only one I'm going to edit up for her and send back to her. So I'm just kidding.
We have a first ever on the show. My
What's that?
cigar went totally out when I was smoking it.
You're not smoking it enough because mine's still going strong.
So was Al's. So was Al's.
Yep.
Al, you might want to teach Mike how to smoke a cigar quick.
Suck often.
That can be said for a lot of things in a lot of places.
Yep. I don't know, did it go out or did you lose your cherry?
It just went out. I had a hard time relighting it too. Interesting. There must be like a little hard spot in the middle of the cigar.
Is that manufacturer or is this brand? Oh, no one.
I'm guessing that these cigars, because they're so cheap, don't have the best quality control. Not that they're a bad smoke necessarily, but they're not going to have the same level of control over
I think
consistency.
Mike just hit the dark shark spot. It's different in each one of these sticks, but when you hit the dark shark,
Yeah.
Yes. Oof. I'll give it a little bit. Now it's sour, of course, on a relight.
yeah.
My nephew shot at a deer today. Youth hunting is open right now for those who.
Clarification.
Yeah.
Quick.
Youth hunting is open right now during the recording of this show.
How old does it have to be?
I don't know what the
Is it
minimum
12?
age is.
I thought it was 12.
Nah, I think it's more like 8 or 9 now.
Oh, is
They
it?
lowered the age. Yeah, it used to be 12.
Okay. Back in my day, we walked uphill to school both ways in blizzards, and it was 12.
Mine's yearly around with my car.
It was 12, and there was no youth season,
Yeah.
which apparently there is now.
Yeah. I think they like pioneered or like piloted the youth season like just as I was aging out of that. Because I feel like my two younger
Sure.
brothers went youth hunting.
Okay.
I don't know. I could be wrong.
I never did. Which is fine. But now I only hunt 2 days a year anyway. Deer hunt 2 days a year. Yes.
Indeed.
Do you guys remember G4 TV?
Yep. You hear what
Nope.
happened to him?
Yes. You don't remember G4?
Attack
I
of the
don't
Show,
know.
Olivia Munn, X-Play.
It was like a video game network
Oh.
on television.
We never had like TV.
Tech Show.
Sure. I don't. Well,
I mean, in
I
high
don't
school
remember watching it as a teenager.
we had satellite, but nobody in the family was really interested in any of that stuff. Like I'm the techiest still in my family.
Sure.
So,
I only watched Attack of the Show.
okay, I've heard of Attack of the Show, so like at least that's familiar to me. I don't think I've ever watched it though.
Right. Attack of the Show was on G4.
Yeah.
They just shut down forever. They went off air and then they went onto YouTube, and long story short is they couldn't make it on YouTube.
Well, they had other problems too.
Yes, they did.
I think it's hard to make it on YouTube without putting out a bunch of like just absolute shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, but they already had some other tags, or G4 already had a couple problems already when they went to YouTube. Yeah, one host basically do a woke meltdown.
The woke
That's
meltdown.
the only reason why I knew G4 went to YouTube.
Huh? You say that again?
Oh, I said somebody had a woke meltdown?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like they were pro woke or anti woke?
Well, she was basically going like, "Oh, because I'm not looking like this person or I'm not looking like that person, you don't value my opinions, or because I don't look like Olivia Munn, I constantly have to prove my credit and my gaming credit or stuff like that."
Yes.
But
I feel like video games is a very tough arena to get into if you're a female and don't want to show any cleavage. And I'm not saying that women need to show cleavage to be taken seriously in like the video game realm, but we had a whole episode about incels, and I just feel like maybe that's just the stereotype of video gamers, but
yeah.
I feel like it's tough if you're trying to be taken seriously as a female in video gaming.
Yeah.
Not that that's fair, because anyone can video game.
Oh yeah. And then also too, like basically the culture's changed since G4's been gone. It's like
Right.
we don't have to really go to them anymore to find like our video game reviews or get our tech updates anymore.
Yeah, because anyone can stream now, right? Like
Yeah.
on Twitch, anyone can be streaming the game.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Like it's not like before the internet speeds we have now and the connected games that we have now, where they encourage you to stream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, the woman that had the meltdown, she was an expert in esports, which I have no idea what style of video game that is.
I think it's any kind of, you can have like your sports games.
Yeah, like
Big
Madden,
ones, StarCraft.
or like
Okay.
FIFA, right? Or like
Yeah.
Yeah. She was an expert in that, and they had her reviewing games that were not related to that.
okay,
So she got some flack, and then she freaked out. Which, again, it's got to be difficult for a woman who's not selling sex to work in the video game industry. I would guess,
well,
I don't know that for a fact,
there's that
but-
one. Well, and I think just selling sex in general, it doesn't matter what your gender is, really, but because that Cyberpunk 2077 or whatever came out, and their whole thing was like, you can characterize or you can customize your character's junk, and you can make them have like whatever size penis or labia lips you want. Like that's like, and I never played it and I never looked into it, but that's all that I heard about it. Like the buzz surrounding it.
Yeah.
So.
No, I bought the game, and like when I did my character creation, I'm like playing in front of one of my brothers, and it's like, what the fuck? Sorry if I can't curse on this or not.
Yeah, you can.
You absolutely can.
But yeah, it's like seeing that aspect, and like, do your character want to have underwear or not? Like, what? Huh?
I just want to play a game, man. I don't want to make wardrobe choices.
And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm definitely not playing this in front of my 6-year-old son.
Guess I'm definitely not wearing underwear in this game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's funny because my buddy got that. We talked about Luke before, and Mike's met Luke, and we watched some shitty movies with Luke, but he played that game, and I was like, how big did you make your character's dick, man? And he goes, I always play women because I don't want to be looking at a dude the whole time I'm playing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
In Skyrim, I always play as a woman, too. Always.
But
that's for practical reasons.
Do you have the nudie mod where everybody's naked in Skyrim?
I had it on Oblivion, but I don't have it for Skyrim. No, I did. I had the nudie mod and I had the skinning mod. So
Okay.
when you took hides off of animals, it would skin them out. Yep.
Good times.
Never gone to that part of video games.
We've been playing. We Need to Go Deeper recently online, and it's like this 2D art, and it's really bonkers, like animation and stuff. But you're in a sub, and you have to go deeper. Lo and behold. But that's pretty fun because you've got like some in sub bits, and everybody mans a different section of the sub. You know, you've got your
Right.
I don't know what they call it. It's like a captain, like the sub captain or pilot, and you
Yeah.
got engineering and gunners, and then you get like these caves, and you go in and you can you can fight all these mobs, you know, in these caves and get gold, and you can buy more and more ridiculous outfits for your character. But it's all like 2D, but it's very like weird and kind of like. It's not Cthulhu, but it's kind of like a weird mythology that they've built around this game. So
All right.
Interesting. I've never heard of it. I thought it was like a double entendre there.
no,
Clearly.
it's super. Well, that's what I scream in the bedroom every night. But
Uh-oh.
hold on, I'm being told in my earpiece here. Yeah, okay. Nope, I won't be continuing that train of thought. But it's super. It's like a super cheap game. Like we got it on sale. Like 3 of us are playing it now, and you can have up to 4 people in a sub, and then you can get like bots and like mercenaries and things. So it's pretty fun.
It sounds pretty fun. I play pop slots for no reason. Well, that's not true. There is a reason.
There's always a reason.
There's always a reason. Yeah. You can collect points and redeem them if you go to Vegas. That's what I want.
And Mike loves points.
Yes, I love points.
Yeah.
I actually like Vegas.
Have you been? You've been to Vegas?
Yeah, I've been a couple times.
Okay, I went once and I was 18. But it was a family trip, right? So it's not like we were going to see the strippers and shit. But when we walked through like the casinos, they were like, "You stay on this path and you don't like look outside of the path." Like they were very adamant that an 18-year-old could not, because 21 is the age for gambling there.
Yes.
Yep.
So I'd like to go back. I don't really like gambling. I did almost get into a fight at a blackjack table at Treasure Island, south of the cities here. I think it's south of the cities, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It's by the nuke plant.
I almost
South the cities, around
I got-
like Valley Fair.
okay, because this guy like called me out to the parking lot to go like have a fight, and I guess that would have been my opportunity, Mike, and a good
Right.
thing to talk about on our fight episode. But I declined because even though I was a little intoxicated, I was nowhere near as intoxicated as this other person. And we were at like the dollar table or something. Like it was like the cheapest table in the casino.
Mm-hmm.
And I came with $20 and I left with 40 because I said if I double my money, I'm out and I'm done playing. And this guy stumbled out. It was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and this guy stumbled out and of the high roller table. So he, lost his wad there. And then he comes and sits down and tries to tell all of us how to play blackjack as if he knows.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't playing very well because in the car ride down, I was asking my brother, I'm like, okay, so what's like the inside scoop on this blackjack stuff? And he's like, okay, well, and so what I thought he said was always hit on 16. But what he actually said was don't hit on 16. So I was constantly hitting on 16, which ended up working out for me. But it was driving this guy bananas because he was like, when you take that card, you're stealing from the rest of us at the table, and it's us versus the dealer. And I'm like, dude, it's me versus the dealer, and you all can fuck off. And, but he had this whole thing like, you don't want to take a good card from somebody else. And I'm like, I didn't see you fronting some of my money on this table, bro. But my brother was at the other side of the table, and one of the guys next to him was like, dude, if your brother goes out to the parking lot with that guy, I totally got his back. Because this guy was an asshole to everybody at the table. And everybody at our table, it's the $1 table or like the $5, whatever the cheapest table is, and like we're all just there to have fun and try to win like $10,
Yeah, you're not there to lose your ass. You're there to drink and
Yeah, we're there to drink
enjoy
and
yourself.
entertain. We're not there to like, I got to make the mortgage, like.
Yeah, your name's not getting put on the side of the wall with your epic win.
Yeah. This dude hit on a 16 like a moron, but it worked out for him. That's the wall I'd be on.
Right. I've only played blackjack a handful of times, and always in like boomtown shithole bars.
Yeah.
With drunk oil trash.
I've heard that blackjack you have the best odds like against the house.
Maybe
not necessarily good odds, but like better odds than other card games.
Well, you can control your hand a lot better. I would assume.
Well, it's better odds than a slot machine.
Yeah.
My brother was a blackjack dealer. And when I turned 18, he had a conversation with me because I was going to go to the casino for 18th birthday, right?
Okay, yeah.
And he said, Michael, when you go to the casino and you bring your money, go up to the table. Remember that the person that you're playing against plays cards 40 hours a week, 52 weeks a year, for years on end. So, good luck trying to beat them consistently. Their job is this.
Yes. Their job is to not lose.
Yeah. Their job is to not lose to you and to manipulate you to try to make you lose.
Yeah. But they have their own kind of like parameters for the dealer.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like the dealer has to hit on certain numbers and doesn't hit on other numbers. So
they can't go above 17 or something, I think.
I think once they hit 17, they have to stop or something like that. I'm not sure. I'm not much of a gambler.
Me either. But I mean, I think like as long as you know what their rules are and the kind of the basics of the game, and if you're not absolutely inebriated and like full of yourself, you could just play cautiously and kind of like stay pretty even,
Yes.
Or make some money, Not huge amounts because, you make a huge amount once at a casino. I mean, that's what they want you to do, but it's only that one time. And then you're hooked, And
then you go back and you blow it all.
Yep.
It's like the E-tab machine or pull tabs. Mm-hmm. They want you to put that money back in the box.
I've never played pull tabs.
Really?
Maybe once or twice, but it's like, for me, there's not much thought into it.
No, there's no thought. It's all random luck. And you know that there's more chances of losing by a significant margin.
But the thought is basically, okay, how many winners are still available and how much is left in the box.
Right.
And they got people playing. Some of the etiquette I heard, like, if you see one person constantly playing in one box, you don't really, I think it's that you don't want to go in their same box or something.
It's considered rude by gamblers.
Yeah.
Yes. Gamblers get very upset when other people win when they are losing.
Yeah, especially if you're new to it and you're not following the whatever the fake subculture protocol they've invented for their little whatever game it is they're playing, whether it be pull tabs or blackjack or even slot machines, it's like the people that go and wait for you to stand up from a slot machine, like the vultures or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to hit big now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only gambled a handful of times. So when I was in Vegas, the last time I was 21, so I could gamble. And every day I went to Caesar's Palace and pulled the big $1 coin machine that they have. You have to like wait in line to go and do. And that was the only gambling I did the whole time.
And how did you make out?
I lost every dollar I put in there.
No, because, my mom finally went last April. And I think she basically almost broke even, and she wasn't even really trying to play.
Sure.
She was just like, okay, well, I'm waiting for a couple of friends of hers to get done with their gambling or whatever. So she puts a couple bucks in a slot, and I think she said she basically, counting her price for the trip and all that, she broke even almost.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You know,
I've only gambled that one time. Well, we went to I don't know, we went to one of the other ones kind of here in the cities and played a couple slot machines, but I mean that's gambling, yes, but I went with like $5, so I don't really count it as gambling because it's just kind of like I'm going to put $5 here and see if something spits out. But when I went to the blackjack, I was like, I'm going to just view this as entertainment. I could spend this $20 going to a movie.
Yep.
Or I could spend it here playing blackjack. And so I was like, and then I, set in my mind, I'm like, if I double the money, even though it's only $40, right? Then I'm going to be done because I'm not going to get greedy and I'm not going to sit here all night, even though I think we left around 3 or 4 in the morning. But I was a younger man back then.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Have you tried on board games and all this? Have you tried going to like in the cities, like the place called the Source or Fantasy Flight?
Yeah, I've been to both of them. Fantasy Flight rebranded in the world's dumbest naming convention outside of Zorba's. And so for those of you who don't know, Zorba's is
They have a location in Brainerd. They have a location in Detroit Lakes. They have a location somewhere else, I think.
I absolutely hate their menus and their billboards because they change all of the S's into Z's.
Yes.
And it makes me like rageful. Like just beyond belief. I don't understand why it like gets at me so bad, but I absolutely hate that. And so following that, Fantasy Flight Gaming Center rebranded to Game Zenter with a Z of all things. Game Zenter. And it's like the actual fuckity fuck are you doing? But it's a great place to go. They've got tables. They've got tables in the back that people go and they bring their miniatures in and they do like painting parties. They have a little like grill kitchen thing. I would never eat anything from there, but
no, it was pretty decent.
I've seen other people eat things from there, and I'm like, thank God I sleeve my cards with your fucking barbecued chicken finger.
Well, it's like
hands.
Because I never ate that stuff there, but it's like.
But they have beer on tap, so like I get the beer for sure. The Source is good. I've never played there, but they've got a good selection of games and fairly decent prices. I like down here in the cities. My buddy and I, we usually play at Lodestone, which is in kind of St. Louis Park, Minnetonka-ish area, and they've got huge tables and they've got a little like coffee bar, which is nice, and they've got a library to play at. They don't have so many games for sale because it's more of like a gaming area than a coffee shop
with a game.
Yeah, and then I really like All Systems Go because they'll put you can pre-order stuff for them, and they only charge you like the MSRP, so like no extra shipping and stuff.
All right.
But then there's this place in Wisconsin called Boardlandia, and they back a lot of Kickstarters. And you can get the Kickstarter games from them for the retailer's price and then you pay a little extra shipping or whatever, but you don't have to pay. So like it works out to being a pretty significant savings.
All right.
Hell yeah.
All of these stores are not a sponsor, by the way, but they could be.
Not a sponsor. Not a sponsor.
So I've got about 1.5 inches left of this.
I have about the same. Maybe
Let's
2
do
inches.
a stick check. Stick check, everyone. Whip them out.
Stick check. Al's about halfway. He's got maybe 3 inches left.
Okay. Do we have any additional thoughts? I know we haven't. Usually when we don't talk about a cigar, it's a more enjoyable cigar.
Yeah.
Typically, yeah. This is very bland, in my opinion. I don't really get a lot of flavor off of it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, so the first time I smoked it, I was underwhelmed drastically until like the second half. And then I felt like the second half was a little bit better. It still wasn't like phenomenal. And it wasn't something that I'd be like, hey, you really got to get one. Mm-hmm. But for what we're doing tonight, and when I smoked the first one, you're just shooting the shit. But on the second smoking, like the first part was I noticed it was a lot sweeter than I remembered, even from just a week ago. and maybe it's because of the slight variations. It's not going to be as quality controlled, perhaps, as you alluded to, Mike.
Yes.
But I came away from my first smoke very favorable towards this cigar. And the second smoke is, I don't know, kind of reinforcing it. Like it's not, if you're like, hey, what's the greatest cigar you've ever smoked? This is not even going to be close to the list. But for a cheap cigar, I mean, it's cheaper than the bin Maduros that we had. And I'd rather smoke this than the bin Maduro without tequila.
I agree.
I'd be curious to try these tequila cigars.
I was thinking the same thing, that this would be a good one for a tequila cigar.
Yeah, I think
this isn't bad. It's definitely, it's not a gas station cigar.
No, I'd say it's decent. It's decent.
It's decent. It's for the price. It's value for money. You
get 20 of them for $1 or $2 a stick. Like done deal all day long.
Yes, value for money wise, it's definitely worth it so far. But I'm gonna guess it's gonna stay fairly consistent.
Yeah, I mean, it's not one we're gonna be sitting here going like, oh, we should get the roach clip out. But
no. This is not going on the all-time greats list.
No, but it's not a bad stick. I mean, it's inoffensive all the way through, pretty much, and it's not as dark as it would lead you to believe. So it appeals to a lot more people that maybe don't smoke as many cigars or don't like the really dark stuff.
It's like right now, I don't have a problem with it that much.
Right. Do you can you tell the difference between this and the Moon Trance?
I don't even gonna tell you which one was the Moon Trance that you gave me.
Well, so for everybody, including Nate,
that's
to know,
blasphemy.
He tried a Moon Trance and also a La Gloria Cubana Series R.
Ooh.
Which are, Nate and I have both had him on the show, and we both like those.
Al must be single. Are you trying to woo him, or?
Well, no, we were just having a good time.
You gotta talk to Sarah about that part.
But Al couldn't tell the difference between the two.
Okay.
Well, these are those two how far apart? How I try.
They were a couple. I mean, it was a couple days or weeks apart. It wasn't like the same night or anything.
Yeah.
But I was like, you can't taste the bourbon vanilla, la la la. And he's like, no.
Again, that's the problem with being a basically smokers. Like your taste buds go down.
Yeah. So note to the children listening.
Like if you don't and
smoke.
anything ever.
Yeah.
But like I mean, honestly though, if you don't smoke a lot of cigars, how would you know? I mean, it's almost the same as like wine or bourbon or meatloaf. Like if you don't consume it a lot, how would you know? Like how could I go back and say, hey Ma, your meatloaf has these notes to it versus this other person's meatloaf? Like how would you know if you don't do a whole lot of it? So it's not, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility or normalcy. You don't have to know all these things about cigars to just enjoy smoking a cigar.
Right.
Well, like if he gets me hooked on it, then I'll be teaching him some stuff. Then it won't be the first time.
Right. No, it wouldn't. But what I was more getting at is that something like this, if you had it in your home humidor and you were going to have a little smoke session with your buddy, if they're not a cigar smoker, something like this would be a great stick for them to have. Because it's perfectly adequate. It's a good cigar, smoking nice, right?
Yeah.
And it'd be fine for you to smoke with them,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This would be totally fine.
So
especially with tequila on it.
I mean, sometimes that's it too. It's like, oh yeah, here, you take the cheap stick and I'll smoke this really fancy stick. Like you don't want to do that to your buddy either.
No.
Like, why are you not smoking the same thing I'm smoking? Like, what's wrong with this one?
Right.
What do you lace it with?
But yeah, it's perfectly adequate.
Yeah, I think though you're right, and I was thinking this, and I didn't want to say it at the start of the show, but I too was dreaming and salivating about making this into a tequila cigar.
I knew it looking at him. I had an idea of what I was about to entertain based on the price.
Yeah.
So,
But I guess I was pleasantly surprised
it's better than those bin Maduros.
based on the price, because this is about half the price of those bin Maduros.
Mm-hmm.
And or less. I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on when you catch it on sale or not. But I honestly would rather smoke this than the bin Maduro. Just plain. So
Right. And I just got. For those who don't know, I just made a big order. But I just got some Rocky Patel Edge Fuma Corojos, I want to say, for less than $40 for 20.
nice.
So you can get good deals on something like that. And we really like those Fumas.
We do.
Which we did not have the Corojo. I think we had the Maduro and the Connecticut.
Yep. We didn't do the Corojo.
Yeah. But yeah, you can get good deals on something like that, and that's extremely high quality, I think. I like them.
And especially now that it's getting towards the holidays, a lot of places are having their discounts and sales.
Yeah, 'tis the season.
'Tis the season, and if any one of them are sponsors, I'd happily name drop them now, but I shall not.
Yes. There we go.
There we go.
Goodness gracious me. Goodness gracious me. Typically we talk about politics, but I have been purposefully avoiding the news for the last couple weeks.
And you sound all the more calmer for it, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor, but I can tell your blood pressure is way down.
I gotta do something,
Yeah.
No. It is futile, all that.
Yes.
So, your lovely wife was over at my house last night.
I heard, and I saw
Yes.
pictures of the lovely nail job.
Yes.
Is that what they call it? Manicure?
Yeah, I nail job, I think is what they call it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Nail massage.
Yes.
And your wife brought me a gift. Did you know that?
No.
Oh,
yes, I did. I did.
Oh,
know
okay,
that.
you did. Okay. I was gonna be like, I'm gonna send you a picture and make you jealous.
Yeah. Hold on. I need to go on mute for a minute.
But yeah, it's awesome. She got me a nice outdoor ashtray from Tobacco Grove, I think is what she said.
Nice.
And, yeah, it's awesome. I like it.
That's where I have mine. My big copperish looking one.
Yep. Yeah, yours is pretty cool looking too. For sure.
Bashow. Well, I'm
Yes.
about done with my cigar, so I think
I have like an inch and a quarter left. But it's out.
Again.
It's out again. Second time out. And I'm a puffer, as
you are
we've mentioned many times. So I'm thinking that the consistency on this particular one was
lacking.
less than what I would expect from a $10 cigar for sure. But it's not a $10 cigar; it's a $1.50 cigar.
Yes.
And for that, it was good.
Well, and I've had two of them, and neither of mine have gone out, and Al's hasn't gone out. So
Nope.
No, Al's still puffing away, and he's letting his sit too. I mean,
let's just hope yours is the fluke, then maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Could be.
One that was made on a Friday.
Made on a Friday. Yep. No, I did hear that Ford is going to be investigated because of all their vehicle recalls.
Oh,
which is interesting as a Ford driver. But it's going to be the 2021 Broncos, I think.
Okay, that was the big reissue of the Bronco, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, big push, and they've been having engine issues, I guess, which is unfortunate for anybody who bought a new Bronco, obviously.
Didn't I also hear like they're going to stop retail car dealerships?
I didn't hear that.
Okay.
I've heard a lot of them have kind of been toying with the idea of not having the dealerships and moving everything to kind of like an online, you customize your car online. they build it and ship it to you.
I don't know
But
how
I
that
don't.
would
But
work.
I don't know if that was Ford or if that was just kind of in general. Like a couple different car dealers were kind of like, "Hey, we could cut out the car dealerships and just make more money."
Tesla wanted to do that, and they were blocked from doing it by the dealerships.
Okay.
No, I think it was the other way around. They couldn't sell their cars.
Well, Tesla wanted to sell them direct,
Yeah.
and the dealership system, of course, paid off bribes to politicians. So they
Where's our cut?
Right. Which is fine. I don't know if I could buy a vehicle without driving it first. Well, that's not true because Sarah bought a vehicle in the spring and we never drove it.
I could probably
But
buy one without driving it, but I'd have to sit in it before buying it,
Right.
just because I'm tall.
Right. Well, we knew what the car was. We had driven cars like it. We just hadn't driven that specific vehicle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, my brother's doing that right now. Bought one without test driving it or anything.
really,
Yeah, he got his. Apparently, from what I was hearing, he bought himself his Maverick. Yeah, I know. My head's shaking too.
is he gonna sell his other two vehicles that he has car payments on?
Oh, it's a car payment and a loan or a lease.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not an economics podcast, but
Yeah.
word to the wise: if you have two vehicle payments, don't order a third vehicle. Oh my god! I guess unless you make a lot of money.
And my input
Only
is
makes a little bit less to me.
Go ahead, Nate.
Oh, I don't know much about cars. But my input is drive the old trusty rusty 2004 Honda Civic
Mm-hmm.
and ride it
Yeah.
till it dies.
Yeah, that's
Right,
all.
it does.
Majority of my vehicle's gone.
Yep. Yeah, you got a. What was that? For $50? Did you get a
150.
Volkswagen? Oh, it was 150.
Yeah, it wasn't a Volkswagen. It was like, I think it was a Ford.
What's it a Ford? I know you
Corolla.
drove it for a long time.
No, I had it for basically a year and a half.
That's a long time for $150.
Yeah.
A lot longer than those Vegas hookers, I'll tell you that.
I know, right? $150. That's
Yeah.
pretty reasonable, really.
Yeah, but then eventually what killed it, it's like it got a hole in its piston.
Probably from the Vegas hooker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vegas hooker. So,
Yeah, but then my dad's like, yep, it's shot. Get a new one. All right. Next day, I got myself a Volkswagen Jetta.
okay, that's when you got the Jetta.
Yeah.
Cool.
And that lasted me until the training went out.
I'm not gonna say anything.
No comment.
No comment. We've talked about that on this show before. We
We've
are not
talked
talking
about it. We've
again.
talked about it not on the show, well
We-
intoxicated, and that conversation is sealed in the vault.
Yes, it is. So, final thoughts on the cigar, since Al's probably getting pretty close.
Yeah, overall, it's decent, I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say value for money wise, it's a winner.
Yeah.
But
So
if I
it
was at a lounge, I don't know if I'd
Yeah.
get one.
But it's like, yeah, it's like if you're, to me, it's like if you're a newbie, it actually makes you feel like you're having a decent cigar.
Right.
It's not like one of those thinny ones with the caps on the ends.
Yes, like a swisher.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice, I think, too, because if you want to have a lot of cigars that you know are like decent, and you can just go out and smoke, like great, you can buy 20 of them for like $24, on sale.
Right.
It's a great way to just beef up your stash, your supply, and they're decent. You can mow the lawn with them. You can have a drink and have some conversation with them. You can pass them out to some buddies. I think it's
Cover
all
with
around.
tequila.
It's a winner, like.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it's great as a. I don't want to call it a filler, but it's like a yard gar.
Yeah.
It's a perfect one just to light up and go out to the shop and dink around for half an hour or an hour.
Yeah, when you want something, you don't want to put a whole lot of thought into, man, I need to savor every puff of this one,
Right. Yeah, you're not you're not pretending to be in some novel.
Yes.
Or whatever. Cool. I think that about wraps it up, folks.
That wraps it up. It was nice meeting you, Al. Thanks for joining
same
the
here.
podcast here, and we'll have to play some board games in the future.
Hey, whenever we're at Mike's during the weekend.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Be safe. Have fun.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, you guys have a good one.